Good morning everyone. Sorry it's been a couple of days since we've done anything, but it's not been really the right time. We've been really busy with the garden. We've had a lot of rain and had to sort that out as well. But hey, we're doing one now. Right, I'm going to be doing some using some of this multicoloured ribbon to make a flower today. I've also got this bit of lace, so like a vintage lace, and these are back in the shop. I can't remember. I know somebody asked me off more times than I can remember. She's asked me for them, and it was hard to get hold of them, but they're back in the shop anyway, and you get 6, I think it is, for £1.50, so that's a good deal because they're Goupier ones, top quality. So they are back. I just want to show you this. This is my photograph book. Now, when Julie and I go away, or Ray and I take as many pictures as I can, and from the pictures, I take the best of them and make them into books for my kid. Well, it's just my photography that I can leave behind, and for my kids and my grandchildren to browse through, and they want to go somewhere, they can have a look and see if I've been and what it's like there. This was Bridge of Kenmore at the bottom end of Loch Tay, and as you can see, Joey and Lucky and Ray, and it was a glorious day. So I'm just going to quickly share this with you. I did make one mistake, which was this. I put that as Ruby Bay and it wasn't. It's Kinloch Leven, and it's a 5 mile drive. You go through Glencoe, over the bridge at the top end, into the village, and turn right. There's a sign for a cafe, but it's 5 miles from that sign, and you drive down this bendy lane and you eventually come to this place. On this side is a cafe. And a seafood place, so you can go there, pick something to eat, sit out by the loch, and this is the view you get looking, you know, up the Kinloch Leven Loch. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a gorgeous spot. So I'm just quickly sharing this with you. This was Ruby Bay, the lighthouse, and oh, I can't remember where I found the name of that, but I hadn't found it when I put the book together. But we went on this beach with the dogs and we brought some driftwood home. These are just some pictures. I really need to get the other book. Yeah, I'm going to get the other book because I've done 2 of these books. One's for Julie and one's for me. So I'll be back in a tick. Right, this is my book. And what I've had to do is, because I missed things off there, because I couldn't remember names and that, but I wanted to get the books done for Julie, that I filled mine in. I'm not fussed about me having to write over mine at all. Sandy Hill, that was it. It's called Sandy Hill. That was the peninsula. Ruby Bay was at Fife. So I've filled mine in, I've written on mine, I'm not bothered about it at all. I can go over that with some nice neat things when I've typed them out. This was this one was the Ford at Dockart in Killin. Fort William, where we stayed. Julie and I, and Ray and I have stayed there as well. This was what used to be, it would have been liquefied at some point, and this, we found that at Glen Nevis. The Ranger Centre at Glenmore. Just some Scottish thistles. This is, I think it's Roughburn Dam. The Drovers Inn, which is over 300 years old and haunted supposedly, but we went in there. Beautiful people in there. And this was the village at Luss in the summertime, and it was just gorgeous. This particular house was coated with flowers. Castle Stalker. Which we loved that. And this is the bull that we saw, the Highland cattle. And when we saw it, Julie went, "Oh God, look, it's just like my Maggie." Maggie's dog's about as big as that head. I just laughed at her because she's so funny. This was the back road to Avimar at Glenmore. When you get to Glenmore, that's what that looks like, isn't it? It's stunning. Again, this is Loch Tay. And we drove all the way up one side, back down the other, and then we couldn't get any further, so we had to come all the way back. And Ray and I, and Julie and I have done the same trip, but it's beautiful. And that's looking the opposite way. And this was at Fort William. They've got, they had when we went, 3 Highland cattle. A black one, one that was mixed, and this one. And I just took that picture as he came towards me. He just walked straight towards me. They're really, really, I just love the creatures. Braemar Castle. I try and get picture postcard type or calendar type pictures. You know, Loch Ness. Not really, no. Then what we got? Plodder Falls. Now, this is a beautiful place. It's a long, long walk down. When you stand there and take your photographs, which I did looking down, that's brilliant. But when you walk down, it's like 3 layers, and you get to the bottom, there's a nice fencing area, and you get to the very bottom of the waterfall. Looking up, it's amazing. And not to be missed if you go, Plodder Falls. This was on our way up there, which was at Melrose Abbey. And it's quite creepy looking. When we went, we had the weather, it was stormy, and it turned from blue to, you know, like stormy dark clouds, and it was creepy, to be honest, but we loved it. Culzean Castle. And I just loved the way we walked towards the path, you know, towards the castle, and we had this arch, and I just saw that image. I didn't quite get it centred, but hey ho, we can always go back and do it again when it's better weather. Blackmount Piper, as you're going up through Glencoe, you get up to Blackmount, there's always a piper there. Come rain or shine, there's usually a piper there. And he plays the bagpipes on the hour, every hour. Or every hour on the hour, whichever way you want to say it. Another of the Highland cattle. I just loved it. I just thought it's a scruffy looking thing, but I love the creatures, they're lovely. The Glen Nevis Range. That was beautiful that day to drive through that. All the different mountains. Koran Lighthouse and the mountains in the background. And then we were at Forest and the sunset, and I'm honest to God, it was beautiful. So Forest sunset. Again at Loch Tay, I just saw this bare tree. So I wasn't actually taking that picture of the view, I just saw the tree. And I like taking pictures of weird trees, and it came out pretty well. So I like that one. And this was at Corpatch Loch. You've got this loch where the boats go, and then this loch where the sea is. Do you know what I mean? So, and I'll show you that from a different angle. This view, you'll see in a minute. What we did when we went to Loch Tay, we kept stopping off at little places to take pictures. This was actually, that wasn't the cobbler, but that was facing the cobbler at Talbot in Scotland. I just loved the mirror image. And I did actually once go paddling here, and in this bay I found all kinds of pottery and pipes, you know, smoking pipes and things like that. And it looked basically what they'd done over the centuries was just thrown the rubbish in. But you have to be careful, make sure you've got something on your feet, but it's not very far down. And sometimes the tide goes out and you can see bits laid about. Well, I did bring home the bits I found, and a beautiful cap, you know, like a pot cap off a bottle or a jar. It was gorgeous. I thought, why waste it? And this one, I just loved this. We were driving around by Abergeldy and we saw this field and all these, I mean, there were giant hares, really big hares in there. And you know how long their ears are. And I actually bent down to get this photograph because it looked like this was looking into a mirror. The way it was, it just looked like it was looking into a mirror. So I call that my mirror image hare. And I love that. Again, Abergeldy Castle, which is 450 years old. And sometimes when we go past it, it looks really dull. Other times it's I think now and again they give it a coat of paint. And it's still lived in, so, or it was until recently. Oban Harbour. I mean, look at that as a photograph. Oban Harbour, just beautiful that day. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, everywhere you go in Scotland, you see pheasant. But you don't often get close enough to them because they run away from you. But this particular day, we just stayed in the car with the window open, and he walked past us and I couldn't resist taking the picture. A nice close-up. Again, sheep. Why take a picture of sheep? I like the grouping of it, and I just thought, what a lovely picture that'll huddled together. A nice little family of sheep. And I like sheep. The Eileen Donnan Castle, or Aileen, no, it's Eileen, isn't it? Eileen Donnan Castle, which again was lived in until recently, but is now a restaurant. And this is the Corpatch, the view from the other side. So the loch was here, and then Corpatch Loch at Fort William. And it's Loch, I'm not sure how to say it, Loch Eel, Loch Isle. Beautiful place. And this was stunning. If ever you go to Scotland, this was out of the norm that people go see. They always tend to go to these most, you know, Edinburgh, Stirling, and go to the Great Glen. The Great Glen near Loch Ness. This is Loch Meckley, or Melkley, I think it is. They have the most beautiful spots for you to stop. and just take pictures. It was gorgeous there. And we managed, it was like a little beach, so we took the dogs down onto that. I think I've got a different picture of it in here, a bigger one. Again, this was at the Great Glen. You can actually walk down by the river, so you walk down in between these trees. There's a pathway all the way down. And you just stop off where you want and take your pictures. Oban Harbour. Beautiful. Look at the, I mean, it actually turned out a gorgeous day. But we did get the ferry from Oban, wasn't it? Over to Skye, sorry. That was it. And it turned out gorgeous when we went there anyway. Again, the Great Glen. We just turned this corner and we saw this view. And I thought, that was the beginning of the Great Glen that we went to, where we started. It was just stunning. And then this little beach here, on the opposite, round the bend, on that side, we went round. That's the view looking back. So we'd come from over here and driven through this bend, that bend there, round here, and we stopped off at this beach. Stunning. Just gorgeous. That's off the A31. And then Glencoe, a waterfall, which many people stop and take pictures of it. I've got several throughout this year, because we go November, we go October, we go any time of the year. And it's always different. Sometimes there's no water at all, or just a trickle. And then on the back cover was Falls of Fallock, which is where we filmed those children jumping off, if you remember. But it's a great way to keep hold of your pictures, and they don't get ruined, and they last for a long time. So I will be doing more of these, and this was my particular copy. This is one for Julie, of our trip. Even though Raymond's in it, it's just the trip we've done it all, Julie and I. So I hope you like that, and I will. I'm thinking about doing a book very similar as a journal, so that I put in the details where to stop to eat, you know, where's to get the best views and things like that, like a journal, like a travel journal. Because God, we've been all over the country, and so that's what I think I'm going to do. Now I'm just going to glue this back on before I make a flower. It came off, unfortunately. There, I can go back in the shop now. It'll come off. So, like I say, we've got these, and I love them. They are gorgeous. Make sure we get them all the right way. Yeah. Shiny side up, you see. So, I'm going to make a flower, but I'm also going to make one out of this. Sorry, you'll just have to bear with me. And I can talk to you while I'm doing it. Yes, so Julie and I, as soon as lockdown's over with, we are going up to Scotland again. And we've been, oh God, we've been all over. But there's a lot of places we want to go back to, as well as revisit. Yeah, new ones we've found we haven't been to. And I said to her, I said, come on, we've got to go, because I can't stop being in. We're not used to being held back that you can't travel, because we're the type that get up, want to go somewhere, and we go. You know, so it's just that. And so I can't wait for lockdown to be over with, to be honest. But yeah, I absolutely love travelling. We've done an awful lot between Ray and I, Julie and I. I'm hoping that one day my son will take his family, and you know, I'd like us all to have a holiday together and take his family, because there's some beautiful, beautiful places to go. Really nice places. And I know they like Wales and places like that because we used to take the kids when they were younger. Because that's where Ray's from, is Wales. Right, so I'm just going to kind of like leave that there. And take my... Oh, where's my lighter gone? Here we are. I'll seal that off. But I do need to take the wire out. But first I'm going to go... I would go up there, 6 stitches, then that. Sew across there, 6 stitches, then that. Go across there, 6 stitches, then that. And I'm going to do 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to cut that here. It'll either work or it won't. So we need to take out the wire. Like I say, don't waste the wires. They really come in handy when you need a fine wire. So it's called sheer ribbon, but I don't know why, because it's not sheer at all. Like I said, 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it doesn't matter whether you start pink or white, it's irrelevant really, because it shows both. So just fold it over like you do in a square. That's our first petal. Hopefully I'll get the amount out that I want. That's 1. Right, so now what I'm going to do is start at the beginning, like that. Make sure they're all the same way, which they are, and then you draw them all together and just pull it like that. They make gorgeous flowers. And then I'm just going to, before I sort it out, just stitch that in. Clip that. And again, we just wind that around so we've got it all as we want it. Yeah. I'm not fussed about that. It gives it a little bit of character. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Then we're going to glue this one on top. Now, we're going to do it that way, like that. Does that look pretty? We need to put a back on it. Got a little bit of pink here. Okay, we're just going to just pop that on there like that. Oops, get that over there, mate. There we go. Now I do have they're like these really big pins, but with this particular fabric ribbon, these pins look better in the middle. So I do try, when I can get my pliers, and clip that off. See, and I just clip that off, and that goes in the centre there. But I'm going to use the new doily, applique, should I say, not doily. But it's a mini doily, isn't it? That's going in the centre there. And then this goes in the centre of that. Like that. It looks just stunning. Now, I do need to put a pin in it, and I've got this ready made. So, let's have a look. Where do we want? I'm going to put it in here. Like that, so you can see it all. Oh, it's gorgeous. And hang on, I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm just going to enhance this a little bit more of my gorgeous beaded trim, which I'm going to use, and I want that there. And like I said, you do have to be careful when using this and seal it in, because it's so... This last one is only joined by that little bit there. So what I do is I just pop that onto the thread that it's stitched on with. Do the same the other end. Turn that inwards. Make sure that they stick tight together. And then fold that in half. Again, like that. And that gives you a nice tassel, which I'm going to put underneath here. So I'm just going to, whoops, grab that, shove that in there. Oh, already looks nice, doesn't it? I caught that a little bit with the glue, but I can get that off. That's no problem. I've got 2 pink leaves that I'm going to pin together like that. Pop that underneath, and I think I can just pull that back a little bit. Hang on. I forgot about putting those in. Oops. In there like that. Pop the glue on there. Pop that back over. That's fine. That's sorted that out. And that looks pretty, doesn't it? Oops-a-daisy. Move out of the way, mate. And that's enhanced that flower. But I'm also going to add in a couple of these. Oh, I've got this as well. A little bit of beading, you know, like stamen. I'm going to chop that off there. Put a bit of glue in. And I'm going to pop that in here, like that. Because what you do is you don't have to just do this as a centre. You can add things around it. Now I've got this. I don't want the bottom one, but I'll take the next two and bend that over like that. This is where you can use your odds and sods up just to enhance what you've already got, like that in there. See how that looks pretty? And I've also got one of these, so I've got two, but let me just use this one instead. A little bunch of these. Right, and I'm going to pop that in there. And then pop that back there where I want it to go, in there. Just keep popping that in. That's it. So what I might do, oops, put that back in, mate. I might just remove that for now. Let's get this where I need it. In there. So it's got like a little spray of things. And pop that back in just there. Yeah, and now you can see it all. Let me just trim that off. Just pop that there, that's it. And I think that makes that really pretty. No feathers today, but hey ho, let me move my needle because I know what I'm like. Yeah, you do get strands everywhere, but you can put the heat gun onto them. But yeah, and there's another pretty flower, and it's using this now. I can't tell you exactly where to get it from because I am buying it in. So I'm going to be getting that kind of ribbon in. I thought I'd come back and just share how I sometimes do a leaf. Now I've got my needle and thread. Yeah, let's have a look. So using the same trim ribbon, two-tone, I'm going to be doing a leaf. So I'm going to take out the on the paler section. Come on, mate. Oh God, I can't see a blooming thing, me. I'll burn you down till I see it. That's it. If I remember rightly how to do these, which I don't. Yeah, that was it. We have to take that from there. Oh, got a flower squashed. Across to there. Just cut a section off, but don't cut the end off. You need that. And we're just going to make sure they don't melt. Right, so we start at the bottom. And we just stitch that. A couple of tacking stitches. I've left the wire in the dark side. And we stitch that up the spine. What will be the spine. Like that. Don't do too big, too many big stitches. You just want small ones. And then we're going to stitch across to that. And then what you're going to do is just pull it till it's more or less straight. Like that. And then stitch that off. Oh, don't do this to me. That's it. stitch that off there, and what I do is I go back down. I just go back down, so I don't want the end of the thread. I just go over it like an overstitch, like that, just a little bit to hide that thread, and I might open that up, and there you go, you've got that kind of leaf. And then what you do is you can then, oops, let me just knock the end of this. They make really nice leaves. And of course you can bend them then because you've got the wire in them. So I could have used a couple of these. See, like that. And then just overstitch that. Snip that off. And there you are. You've got a leaf. Now what you can do with it is to bend it into shape. Like that. Like that. They're really easy to make, but they look great being two tones. Right, I hope that's helpful. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.